Brian Mudd Show is on News Radio 610 WIOD.
I want to bring on Dr. Mark Schillinger right now, expert in family dynamics. Doctor, how you doing today?
Doing great. Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for being on here. So explain how we avoid a blue Christmas. Explain how to handle the biggest kinds of family stress this holiday season.
Well, most families have a hard time because they worry about not having enough money to spend on gifts. And when I counsel my, families that I work with, I let them know that the holidays has nothing really to do with money. It's all about connection. It's all about remembering the inner light inside. I think if Jesus, Moses, Muhammad, or Buddha came to earth today, they wouldn't be telling us to spend more money. It's about focusing on gratitude and devotion to family and cooperation. So this number one issue that divides families is money. It's really unnecessary. We need to focus on cooperation and relaxation and celebration for the holidays.
And you know what? I get that, and that sounds great, but here's the but, Doctor. A lot of people still do stress out because it is about gift giving to a lot of people, and it is about trying to please. So what's your best advice to those like me who have 3 kids, and you're sitting there and you're going, oh, man, did I get the middle one the same as the other 2? Did I get enough? Did I go overboard? What's the best advice you have?
First, number one, I teach all the families that I work with is to learn how to relax, how to do a simple mindfulness-based stress reduction technique so that anxiety and sadness and stress doesn't have to dominate the day. If you know how to relax yourself quickly, you change your brain chemistry from that fight or flight energy of like, oh, did I get them the right presents, to endorphins, which are healing and relaxing. So number one is learn how to relax. Number two, make the gift giving about all the values and all the virtues that each person has. Like, what do your kids really bring to the table? They bring certain virtues like kindness or focus or exploration. Like, the gifts you want to give them is the recognition that they're wonderful people as they are. We're the adults. We don't want to be modeling that the holidays are all about money. It's all about the inner devotion, the inner light, revealing who we really are and celebrating each person for who they are. We don't want to set the example for the kids that as they grow up, they should think that the holidays are only about money. So if you recognize your kids for who they are, they will feel seen. That's the best gift you can give them.
Yeah, and I think that's a very good point, Doctor. And, to your point, as I've gotten older, I've told my kids, I want Christmas to be more about memories and experiences. And they're all in. I mean, I don't have kids that are like, okay, I got 20 gifts, you got 15 or this or that. So we try to do things like just have like a big family dinner. Every year we plan, okay, do we want to get salmon? Do we want to do steaks? And, just try to do things to create memories as opposed to toys or necklaces or things like that.
Yeah, another thing I'd recommend real quick, too, is it's just having everybody cooperate. Like, the parents should be asking their children for help, or even their guests that come over, calmly and lovingly ask for help. So setting the table, clearing the table, making the food. Like, everybody wants to cooperate. This is a celebration of cooperation and human connection. So let everybody get involved. I run a nonprofit called the Young Men's Ultimate Weekend. It's a rite of passage for young men. So I coach a lot of parents who have sons. And, teen sons tend not to be the most cooperative this time of year. They just want to be on their devices all the time. And one way to get them involved is to stay calm, when they don't want to cooperate, and then ask for help. They tend to want to be heroes, even the teen young ladies. So you have to ask them for help and be grateful, like celebrate who they really are, as I said before, versus what they're not doing. Don't get angry. That's the number one advice I like to tell people during the holidays. Have a technique where you can learn to stay calm. It's better to say nothing than to say something that's polarizing during the holidays.
Talking right now to Dr. Mark Schillinger, expert in family dynamics. Doctor, what about this? When it comes to handling personalities, everybody has a Uncle Eddie or Cousin Eddie in their family, okay, from Christmas vacation. Everybody's got that one relative or a couple that you're like, oh, my God, how am I going to share a living room with them, or how am I going to get through it? Again, best advice for handling family members that you're not exactly maybe that close to or that, I don't know, happy with.
Oh, yeah. Number one, breathe, relax, as I said a few times already on the show. Learn to relax and say nothing. Calm yourself down, because if you're going to respond when you're agitated, you're going to create that polarization. And everybody in America now has heard about polarization from so many different things. The last thing we need to do on Christmas is create more polarization. So I'd say, number one, relax, do nothing. If you do have to open your mouth and speak, please don't do it until you're calm. And then when you do, you can say, I hear what you're saying. I disagree with what you're saying, and I respect your point of view, and then begin with these words. Here's what's true for me versus you're wrong, you shouldn't say that, you have no idea what you're talking about. Just here's what's true for me, and then let them say what's true for them, and then agree to disagree, and then go on to the next topic. People who need to polarize at a family gathering should either leave the gathering or go outside and let them handle it, but it should never be in front of everybody else at all.
And of course, Doctor, rule number one, avoid politics at all costs during the holidays.
Oh, please. Why? this is why? Those people don't care about what we're doing in our homes with our loving families, so why go there? Make it about connection, cooperation, and things will go better, and certainly relaxation. Really, really important. Just a quick story, if I may. A couple of weeks ago, I was working with a family whose son tends to be very intense. He's a wonderful kid, of course, like most young men, but he tends to act out. He stormed into the kitchen the other day, and he was freaked out, and he was yelling and screaming about something. And I just had the parents practice the relaxation technique that I showed them. They did nothing. They said nothing. They just held hands and let the young man go off. When he was done, he sat down, he cried at the kitchen table, and then told his parents what were really going on. And it had nothing to do with them. And he apologized for his behavior. All that connection came out of the parents just doing nothing. So I'm encouraging everybody to just relax and do nothing versus engaging and trying to make, conflict and competition. That's for sure.
All right, Doctor. Thanks so much for your time. Have a Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much for having me.